talking to you to understand what the problems that you're facing instead of you telling it to me. That's where I would say the real product management starts.
Hey everyone, this is Chirag Joshi. Welcome to episode 29 of The Driven Show. The collaboration with Rapido Labs continues, and as a matter of fact, I have with me the head of product at Rapido Mobility, Mr. Nikhil. And today we're going to be talking. The theme of this video is basically going to be, understanding mobility from the perspective of, a product or a service. Because Nikhil's the man, in terms of building the product. His love for product. He's been showering it even before we recorded this podcast. So that's what we thought. There's a lot of stuff out there in the Indian ecosystem that I'm sure Nikhil wants to clarify about what product is and product management is and what are the best practices and not. So anyway, this whole episode is going to be revolving around understanding mobility from the lens of a product or a service. So Nikhil, thank you so much for being a part of the video and taking your time to do this.
Hey, hi Chirag. Thank you for hosting me today. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Yeah, as you discussed, as you mentioned, right? So I'm Nikhil, guys. So I have been heading products for Rapido for last 2 years, and we have seen a tremendous growth in last 2 years. We are at 15K or some odd rates, and we have grown till 450,000 rides.
Yeah.
That we were doing before the lockdown, and again we are coming back on track of number of orders that we are doing. Yeah. So this is the brief of what we do in Rapido, what we achieved in Rapido in one sentence. But there's a lot more we can discuss as we keep going into the podcast. Maybe we'll go through what we are doing differently in Rapido, how we differentiate ourselves from other products. We'll go there.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, before we dive into the whole Rapido stuff, I mean, so the thing about my podcast is, it's very personal. So we'd like to know a lot about you as well, So Rapido, of course.
Sure.
So let's start off with, a brief intro about, how do you introduce yourself and, maybe a 60-second brief about who you are, what you do, and then, we'll get into deeper questions from there.
So in 2 words, I would say I'm a product guy. So I love to draw analogies between what I do in daily life to what we do in product management. So that's what I usually do everywhere. So coming to me, I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 2013 with a dual degree there. Post that, I joined Gaana.com as a product manager back in 2013 when Gaana didn't have mobile applications, and I joined them as a mobile product manager. And I don't know what product management is back then.
Yeah.
That's where I joined Gaana.com as a product manager. That's where the learning started. So I would say big thanks to my manager who headed products for Gaana.com back then, who is Saurav Goyal there. So the first thing that they did with us is they didn't do anything. The first month, they asked us to explore what product management is on the ground. They left us on the field. So we went to different stakeholders. We spoke to them. So we didn't know ABCs of product management back then. So that's where how the journey started. So I also went to developers and started asking questions like, यार यहाँ पे इस player में forward करने के लिए option क्यों नहीं है?
Okay.
So such basic questions. So it started from, I don't know. I mean, like you're a college kid. कॉलेज में आप कुछ सोसाइटीज में हेड करते थे, एड डिजाइन हेड करते थे, एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स रोबोटिक्स करते थे. all you know about is in college is technology, right? You don't know anything beyond or less than that. So if you're a techie, you know about technology, how to code and how to get things done. So I'm not different from others. I used to head tech teams for the college fest, and I headed one of the college ad design teams. So we were doing these back then when I joined college, right? So I never used a computer. So the only time before I joined IIT, the only time that I used computer is to give BITS ka exam.
Oh wow, okay. Then which year was this?
2012. The year I gave the exam is 2008.
Okay. So you graduated in 2012, right?
2013, 5-year का course था.
Oh, 2013. Okay.
Yeah, 2008 to 13. So don't ask me which department and all, because I come from very off-stream department. So I graduated in, I did both BTech and my MTech in ocean engineering and naval architecture.
Yeah, I saw that. Stalked you on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So my love with technology started in college, coding. So back then I don't know how to speak in English and Telugu. Apart from Telugu, I don't know any other language before joining college.
Yeah.
So college taught me how to speak in all these things. So because of this inferiority feeling, I never went to any club ka auditions in my first year.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of first year, which doesn't need a lot of speaking, the only club there is tech clubs.
Okay. Wow.
So
good choice.
That's where I went. That's where I started love for coding, and also I became part of robotics teams. I became head for tech team departments, and also for headed the whole tech team for cultural fest of Rapido. Sorry, not Rapido, the college Spring Fest in IIT Kharagpur, and then post that became captain for ad design teams and all. So the love continued, but in the whole journey, I started with coding. I learned designing.
Yeah.
And then while doing all this stuff, in my fourth year, I realized that यार सब कुछ तो कर रहे हैं हम लोग, last leg कर रहे हैं, but the initial problem is how do we identify the problem statement?
Yeah.
That's the thing which I loved a lot. How do I identify the problem statement and how do I take it ahead? That's where the love started, and started exploring because being a 5-year person, one advantage that I have is that I can see my friends who are sitting for placements in fourth year. So वहाँ पे we started interacting with so many seniors who passed out from college, and I started asking them कि यार this is my main core interest piece. So what do you think about which kind of job should I take and all? So one or two seniors who I am very close to suggested me that market में there is something called product management back then, product manager. So that's where he mentioned that to me, but I didn't know what product management is. It's like कि यार problem identify करने वाला job एक होता है, वो product management है. So it's like कि यार सही है, ये तो super सही है, कुछ नहीं सीखना है, कुछ नया कुछ नहीं सीखना है. It's like everything will be intuition, and day to day work में जो भी चल रहा है, we'll get things from that. But it went on. Fourth year में it's like a honeymoon period for us, because fourth year में so many friends get placed and they give parties and we partied a lot. And so fifth year is a time where it will be very like 60-70% of your friends pass out in fourth year, and you will be left with very less number of friends and juniors.
True.
So that's where your real time comes out in kicks in. So that's where I started exploring what needs to be done outside, what is happening outside. Back then startups were a fad. So if someone is starting a startup, he's seen like it's like photography ka fad tha like 10 years back. When I am a pass out, startups are like a fad which started at a point of time. So startup kya hota hai? How are startups different from traditional companies? Went on talking to so many seniors who were working in different startups. Back then, one good thing about my college is that we had strong alumni network. So which we used to leverage for so many things. We came to know, and then the only product manager role which came for our college placements in 2008 at the time of our placements was Times Internet.
Okay.
For a direct product manager role. No other company came to college for hiring product managers.
Okay.
So most of them are for software developers or product analysts, data scientists, all this stuff, but not for direct product management role.
Yeah.
So I applied only for those companies and went into it, got placed and joined Gaana.com. So Gaana.com I worked for 8 months and then started a company called Preburn.
Okay. Got it.
So Preburn is out of the problem statements which we didn't solve or which we didn't want to solve in Gaana.com. So when there is any unsolved problem statement, that's where the real you comes out, right? If you want to start a company, you won't get sleep and all this stuff that kicked in and which initiated or which pushed me to start a startup.
Yeah, got it.
So we got acquired. So that's where we entered the real world.
Got it. Okay, one second before we dive a little more into your journey, which is super exciting, by the way. I mean, not knowing computers before joining college, not knowing English before joining college, and in a matter of a decade, I think you're in one of the hottest startups in the country. So that's great. That's a great journey already. But before that, I want you to break down for a layman. What would you say? What is product management? Let's start there.
So I would say see, if I have to put it in layman words, right? So there are two parts of it. One, अच्छा, कुछ लोग कुछ problem के लिए they are facing some issues in their day-to-day life. So we didn't even know a kind of problem statement, right? One of the problem statements is, I would not say it is a problem statement. 15 years back, people used to go to railway station and book their tickets in advance. They used to stand in huge lines, long queues and all to get their reservation done. So today, at least 60-70% are not going to railway stations to book their tickets in advance. So who identified that problem statement? Who made the life easy for people there?
Okay.
So that is what I would say the first part of product management. Identifying the problem statement, which is not said outside, in the open. So if I am talking to you and if you are saying that yaar main ye problem solve kar raha hu, ye mere ko solve kar do, I would never say that is what a product management starts with. So I would say, if while I'm talking to you with some random things, and if I figure out something which is causing a problem to you internally.
Okay. Got
so
it.
Identifying that not spoken thing outside. I mean, like, if how do I name that out? So talking to you to understand what the problems that you're facing, instead of you telling it to me. That's where I would say the real product management starts.
Okay, got it. So I mean, having a good eye to spot what the real problem is of a particular person without him telling out loud,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Even he doesn't. I mean, even the person does not know what problem he's facing, but a good product manager gets what the problem is, right?
Exactly, right. So I will give a simple example, which will relate to everyone who is using these days Rapido or Uber or Ola, any other company. So when you try for booking a Rapido or Ola or Uber, so most of the times you won't get a cab. You have to try it again in peak hours. So how frustrating is that for you? Trying for 3-4 times, 5 times, 6 times to get a ride. Or sometimes if you get a ride, you tend to cancel the ride to get a faster ride.
Exactly.
Right? So that is a very small problem, right? For a customer, cancel kar diya, फिर से book कर दिया, cancel कर दिया, फिर से book कर दिया. What would I do if, as a product manager, what we did is, one of the product team members in our Rapido came up with a solution that, I will give information to customer when he's trying to cancel a ride, if he will get a better ride if he tries to book again.
Okay. So that he doesn't have to go through the process again.
It's not just the process, right? It's like, I'm making it better in terms of experience for the driver also, the captain. Captain के लिए ride दिया मैंने, उसको cancel कर रहा हूँ. And even for the customer, there is a high dilemma that whether he will get better ride if I cancel this ride or not. Even I'm solving for that. But these are never spoken. These are never spoken outside. But this is a very small feature, right? So which changed a lot, which brought so much of conversions for us. So that's a knack that everyone should have for product management while you're trying to solve the problems.
That's great. That's a good one.
No customer will come and tell you. If you give me information upfront, I am trying to cancel, I will take a decision on my own. So no customer will say that.
Yeah, makes sense. That's good. That's a good one. That I mean, recognizing problems that people face even before they face it, or even if they're facing. I mean, I won't be able to pinpoint. Okay, this is the problem I'm facing. I'll probably just say something vague, right? And maybe the actual problem, something else only. So I think that's where a product manager really comes in handy. That's great. That's a good thing that you told me. Now one point there, where you said that sometimes a consumer doesn't know what he wants. I've been in a few of these early testing sort of product testing groups where these companies come and tell acha हमारा product कैसा है, आपको कैसा लगा, all of that and I mean I've just from a third party viewed this whole thing, and I think people these days, I mean, because at least in cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad and all that, people are just the normal consumers. The tech world is savvy enough to understand what the problem is, and they come up with their own suggestions, right? So how different is that for you as a product manager to take a very exact advice or suggestion that a consumer gives in comparison to a vague one? Like, how do you take it?
See, it's always not one customer, not one user, not one consumer,
Yeah.
right? So you have to speak to hundreds of customers to understand the problem.
Yes.
So for me see, if one customer is giving me 10 problem statements, and if another customer is giving me 5 problems that he's facing, there might be overlap of 5 problem statements that the customer 2 is also facing, right, with the customer 1. But now, for me, basic thing, simple thing is that if so many people are saying one thing in common, I will prioritize that as first problem statement that I have to solve.
Yeah.
But that is what customers are already saying. I need to merge this with what they are not talking about.
Yeah.
Let's say you might have had a problem, the example that which you have given, right? So you have seen from the third party lens where there are so many companies in the initial phase where they're identifying the product and putting that into the market, right?
Yeah.
They might have seen they might even when they ask the customers to use this product, they will come up and tell, yaar ye bhi problem solve kar do, ye bhi problem solve kar do, ye bhi problem solve kar do. But if you see, most of the times, right, the product that you have built is trying to solve 1 or 2 problems in the initial phase. You won't be building a product for solving 10 different problems.
Of course, yeah.
So first we need to see if the hidden thing here is if customers are talking about that problem or other problems. Because users will speak about 100 different things.
Yeah.
Out of these 100 different things, do we have those 2 things which we build this product for? So we need to be very careful in analyzing that.
Yeah. Oh, makes sense. So also, I mean, taking the feedback from users, but also seeing if that feedback ties down to the core functionality of the product currently, right? Or if it doesn't. That's also.
I would not say product. I would not say the product currently. I would say you might have taken some hypothesis of a problem statement that you want to solve, whether it is tying up with that or not.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Of course. Yeah, that's good.
So I will tell you one mistake that most of the product managers do these days is once they talk to customers, right, they start coming back and telling to their manager, or they start ideating internally in the product team saying that, yeah, customer ka problems ye problem se solve karenge. So but did we validate the real problem that we went out to solve for? So people miss out on that very, very often.
Makes sense. That makes sense. So Nikhil, I mean, what I wanted to know, before we dive into sort of core product things was, you briefly told me the, interesting journey you had in joining Rapido. So could you tell us again, what led you to join Rapido as a company?
See, you already mentioned that you have stalked my profile. If you have done some analysis on my profile, you might have seen that I never worked in the same segment repetitively. Every company that I chose, or any startup that I chose, I always moved the ecosystems. Moved between ecosystems.
Yeah.
See, for me, product management is the capability, whether you understand the problem statement in the first place, be it in different ecosystem altogether, be it finance, be it mobility, be it transportation, be it logistics, or anything. There will be initial learning phase or learning curve for you to understand as a product manager about that ecosystem. Apart from that, everywhere the product management is same.
Okay.
So that is one reason why I chose mobility as an ecosystem, and why Rapido. So Rapido and Rapido co-founders and me are college friends. And also in my second startup that I had, post the acquisition of a startup, I tried multiple ideas. We had multiple pivots, and one of the pivot that we had is into logistics. And Rapido, earlier version of Rapido before pivot was the carrier. It is into intracity logistics.
Okay.
So that's where the match happened, and we thought at one point of time we had discussions of merging both the teams and taking ahead before Rapido launched Rapido. But that didn't happen at that point of time because we continued with our own startup, and we did one more pivot, and we launched another product, and we did it for 1.5 year. After that, we fairly had to shut that down, and I joined a company into healthcare segment.
Yeah. Okay.
So why I joined healthcare is again a personal reason which triggered. I don't want to go there at this point of time. Something triggered so that I joined healthcare. While working in healthcare, I learned end-to-end things, how it works in healthcare ecosystem, and even that company got acquired by a big company. Round Glass Partners करके one more company acquired Life in Control. Post that, again, because I have never experimented in mobility as an ecosystem, that's where I came to know that Rapido is growing. And because founders being my friends, we had multiple discussions in the past before joining Rapido. They were looking out to solve interesting problems, and their aptitude towards solving the problem statements and the knack of looking at data.
Yeah.
So one thing which I would say is every product manager should be very strong in seeing data and understanding data. Data gives you so many insights.
Yeah.
So even what your customer is saying, he might be saying what is coming into his mind, but it's not really his problem. You can validate that using the data that you're recording from the customer. So how many times he's coming to the app? Basic thing to is he coming to app in his free time?
Yeah.
So till that point of time, but use cases will be different from segment to segment. The use cases vary from entertainment to mobility and logistics. So that's where we got to know that we are solving so many interesting problem statements in Rapido, and that's how it happened.
Okay, that sounds good. So so you worked in a bunch of other ecosystems, and you built products there and been a product manager there. How is the Rapido product significantly different than all the other products that you've worked on?
See, Rapido is the first company where which I worked for, which I started working for, in terms of the audience that we're trying to target for. So it's if I have to give an example of Life in Control, the company before Rapido, it's into healthcare segment that is 10-15% of the ecosystem. Okay. So if you see the ecosystem of healthcare, we are not into solving all the problems which are in healthcare. So coming to Rapido, right? Mass transportation is the problem statement. Yeah. So how do I move people from one place to another place when I joined? But of course, it changed after some time. The problem statement or vision of the company changed a bit after that. But when I joined, it is how do we move people from one place to another place. So if I have to talk about moving people from one place to another place, Uber and Ola are solving for top 20% of the audience. What about the rest 80%? Yeah. So this is the shift which I saw majorly. Other companies that I work for are always solving for the top 20%. Yeah. In the ecosystem. And in Rapido, we are solving for the rest 80%. Then I would say the top 20%.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that is a major change.
So you're saying scale is what you saw? I mean, of course, the rest 80%, one is scale, and the other thing is an untapped market, right? 80%.
I would not say untapped market. So in terms of untapped market, I would not say that because local RTC and autos have tapped into this market already.
Of course. I mean, not an untapped market. As a company.
Even I would call them those also as companies, right? So even RTC is a big company. Okay, that is a different thing. So the only thing which I would say here is working with audience who are not so tech savvy. I would not say tech savvy. I would say rest 80%. So it's very wide variety of user personas.
Yeah.
So that's very challenging in Rapido.
Okay. So the interesting, problem statement combined with the kind of demographic the product aims to serve is what, is significantly different about Rapido as a product than most other products. Is that what that's what he said, right?
Yeah, exactly. So to add on the point, right? So use case of people who are using Rapido in Bangalore is completely different from the use case that people are using it in a city like Jaipur.
How?
Or a small so in cities like Bangalore, right, people use it for fast. I mean, like they want to reach a destination very, very fast.
Yeah.
Because of traffic. And in cities like Jaipur, the use case is a bit different. So वहाँ पे students ज़्यादा होते थे. वहाँ पे not Jaipur, let's say Kota. Kota में the use case is mainly for students.
Yeah.
For them to go from their hostels to their coaching centers.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. So I mean, we've dived into this with Pramod. He gave us some amazing insights into how every city is sort of driven differently in some sense because he's the data guy. We got some interesting stories out of him. So I'm aware of how Rapido serves differently in different cities in India, and it's very exciting. So my next question is I think you touched upon it in the previous question. I want to know how Rapido as a mobility product is significantly other than most other mobility products out there. I know the 80% and the 20% thing is a big differentiator, but is there anything else, any other differentiating factor that sets
Sure.
Rapido apart as a mobility a product than Ola, Uber, all of these other mobility services that we have?
Sure. I have been giving you some examples, like small examples, small hacks. I would call them as small hacks, which is improving customer experience a lot. So I have given one small hack on when customers try to cancel the ride.
Yeah.
So similarly, we have other hacks also. I mean, like we have multiple hacks which are in place, which will nudge the customer to complete the ride or take the ride. So I will give a small example. So if there is a customer, we have one person of customers who travel between, who start to their home from office from at 5 to 6 ke beech mein. And even in that, but my peak starts from 5 o'clock in the evening, let's say. What if I distribute that peak 1 hour before and 1 hour later?
Okay.
So can I bring that movement in the user's behavior itself? So we tried multiple things, like let's say if you are a discount, price sensitive person, can I give you a discount so that I can nudge you leave an hour before or hour later?
Oh wow, okay.
So we do such kind of experiments to leverage, to give better experience to the customers and captains, right? So when I say peak time, there's a lot of entropy. When I say entropy, randomness in the ecosystem. So if I reduce that randomness, then there is a better experience that I'm giving. So in terms of experience, because experience came into picture, right? So in terms of experience, even though our apps are not up to the standards of what Uber and Ola are having, because we are not solving for that 80% of 20% of the audience, and we are serving for the next 80% of the audience, UI UX always comes next to us than the service that we provide.
Got it.
So we always aim for the service. So because Rapido kind of problem statements, right? It's not just an app. It's even the service with the captain that we are giving to them.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think Rapido, here's how I see Rapido as a product, significantly different than Ola and Uber. I think you guys take immense pride in your captain community. And I think your product serves them much. I mean, you as a product manager, I think you care so much about the captain, almost equally about the captain than as the consumer. I mean, that's I would say a little. You care a little more than Ola, Uber do about their drivers. Is that right?
Exactly. So I will tell you one more point there. So Uber and Ola, when Rapido joined, we were talking to captains to understand what the problems that they face with Ola and Uber drivers, and also one of the major problems that they find with them is regarding their payouts.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So they get weekly payouts or they get bi-weekly payouts with them. But see, if you are working with someone and you are earning money, so you are the owner for that money.
Of course.
You should have all the rights of when to take the money, how to spend it, and all. So we try to solve that part of ownership, giving ownership to the driver itself, to the captain itself. So we did a small hack. We built a small feature where we have given that capability to the captain itself. Whenever he wants that money, he can click on redeem and he can get money instantly into his account.
Okay. That's I've read about this.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because I read about it, and I think just that small change that you made, I think it makes such a significant difference for me as a captain about how I feel about Rapido as a service, right? That one small thing. My money is my money. I choose when I need it, right?
Exactly.
I mean, in the other situation where in cases of Ola, Uber, and all the other guys, where they're pretty much sort of controlled by the companies, and they have to sort of bow down and take whatever they give. So I think that amount of empowerment that you give to your captains is really remarkable. So I appreciate that.
I will add one more point on that. So I mean, like, I don't want to take any other company's names here. So one question to you is, have you ever got any news in the market that Rapido has delayed the payments or Rapido is not paying to the captains?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
You will never get that.
Okay. That's a big one.
So, and also we always work on lean teams. So if I have to give a small number that about the team size of who does these payouts to the captains. So a company XYZ used to have like 600, 700 folks who just do payouts to their drivers and all.
Yeah.
Rapido never crossed 30 member team. Initially, when we started this redeem functionality, now we are a team of 7 people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we always aim to support our functionalities that we want to give to captains or customers, empowered by technology right from day one.
I see. That's a real, so technology in your company. I mean, I've heard a bunch about your company. I mean, how it's merit based, how data is key, how you try to quantify everything that you do, and how all of that stuff ties into a very deep rooted merit based company culture, which is great. I love that.
So one thing which I want to add here.
Yeah.
So as you pick this point up, so recently we made one change in UI. So we wanted to move one button from bottom to the captain to top right screen of the captain app.
Yeah.
So we to make that change, we had 3 full days discussions between 2 product managers. What needs to be tracked once we launch this experiment, and even for moving this button from one place to another place in the app, right? It's not even a small, not from one screen to another screen. It's in the same screen, and that is very less used button.
Okay.
So even to change that, we had the complete experiment framework listed down, and we did very small releases to understand if even this is the right move or not.
Yeah, makes sense. I love that, how your company functions, almost like, experimenting and, seeing what works, I mean, a very healthy way of, building products, and of course,
See, but that's not the way, companies and business want to slow down their thing, right? So everyone wants to push things very faster into the market, but it's easy for us because everyone in the company are driven or going ahead with experiment as a focus or experiment as a mindset.
That's the culture, experimenting mindset, and always willing to try out new things, and I mean, the culture backs that whole thing. So that's always a great thing, and I think that's something I didn't receive about Rapido as a company until I spoke to you guys, of course. But I hope I mean, this message can be sort of put out more in the world, that that's how. I'm super inspired because even we are in the early days of building a company, and I like how you guys are doing it, and hopefully we'll pick up some things and apply it in our own company as well. So thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
I want to dive into this segment where if you can talk about the evolution of the Rapido product. Now I know you told me that you joined the company when it was at 15,000 rides. Now we're doing 15,000. Now you're at 4 lakh, 5 lakh, whatever rides per day, right? I want to talk to you about, first tell me, what did the first version of this product look like when you joined?
When I joined, right? So we had only one segment, which is bike taxi, and we are solving use cases for Bangalore. And I would say we are in Bangalore, Mysore, and we just launched in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Or if I'm wrong, we launched Hyderabad after I joined.
Okay. This is 2018, if I'm not wrong.
2018, yeah, 2018. Yeah. So in 2018, back in June, July, the product used to solve 1 or 2 use cases. So today the product solves multiple use cases of different cities. So we evolved from just moving people from one place to another place at an affordable price. We used to say affordable price back then as a USP. Now we place ourselves as whatever you guys want to use for. Of course. We evolved from bike taxi, moving people from one place to another place. We are now moving even things from one place to another place in the city. And different modes. Maybe we'll be expanding soon in other cities. We are now experimenting in Hyderabad. We started auto. The mode of transport has increased. So the segments between the segments in the captains, right? It's completely different from bike taxi to auto.
Yeah, of course.
Because to be very frank, Rapido always banged upon part-timers. Or 50 or 60% of the captains are always part-timers. We don't have fixed shifts. You have to come at this time. You have to stay in the ecosystem. You have to stay online for these many hours. We never had those. So we always try to integrate these things to stay for longer hours with the to change the behavior by training him in different paths and nudging him in different ways. So now all these things doesn't work in auto as a transportation mode, right? Because if you see bike, right? Bike as a transportation way, there are only limited ways that a customer can book a ride, which is recently Uber, Ola started last 1 year. Say they are also coming into bike taxi, but earlier there is no other platform that you can go and book a bike taxi for demand. But in terms of auto mein offline hailing is very huge market.
Of course, yeah.
So for bike taxi captains who are coming in, Rapido is a necessity. For auto as a captains
is an option.
Coming on to Rapido is an option.
Yeah.
How do we leverage both?
Of course.
How do we build products for both? This is how the ecosystem for Rapido changed in the last 2 years.
Of course. Makes sense. And that's a pretty rapid shift, I mean, all of 2 years from going from 15,000 just being a bike taxi to right now, having a full scale, all different kinds of mobility services for different use cases. So that's pretty good. But I want to come back, to a specific how the product looked like and felt like,
because you want to understand in terms of
when you came in, how did this Rapido app look like in 2018?
So it's very nascent, right? So even I would not comment anything on the app that we used to have in 2018. Back then when we joined, I'm the first product person.
Okay.
Or after it is clear that I will be joining Rapido, I had one product manager who joined before me, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before me.
Yeah.
So Rapido never had product managers till 2018, and to add to that, we never had designers also in the team.
Okay.
So there is no one who is looking into UI UX experience. It's founders and the tech team, whoever is solving the problems, and the operations team, whoever is solving the problems. They used to come up with their own UI UX, and they used to do all these paper sketches, and developers used to develop it and design it.
Yeah.
So now in terms of visual, right? So when a designer is when an ops person is developing or designing any screen, it will be much different from the way that a proper designer designs. Or a proper UI UX person designs it, right?
Yeah.
So recently we started focusing on UI UX. So I won't say after I joined, we shifted our gears from operational things to direct UI UX. We never did that shift. So now, because now Rapido is in 100 plus cities and we are into multiple services, and this shift happened in last 4 or 5 months. Overall, we launched multiple services. Now we are seeing there is a high need for shifting gears towards UI UX.
Yeah.
So there is one parallel thread that we are running in the company where we hired some super good UX folks and UI folks. And whoever is seeing this podcast, right? So we are open for hiring more UI UX and UX leads. If someone wants to join, please feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, great. Yeah, of course. I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of UI UX people need jobs these days. So that's great. So the first one, of course, the first one I understand it was a very, it wasn't by professionals. It was by, operations people, the founders themselves, tech people. Now,
I would not say professionalism. So that is not, I would not put it in that way. I would say they are also professionals.
So they were not UI UX professionals. Of course, they're not UI UX.
Yeah. So back then the app used to serve 15,000 people, right? 15,000 rides in a day. So utna scale ke liye, that is fine. But when we started scaling up, then a lot of UX things came into picture. What all things that we should have in terms of cleanup, information hierarchy, all these things started coming in. Even for the captains, right? Even for captain to add one more data point, to remove one more data point, we have huge discussions, right?
Yeah. So when you went from the first version and then you stepped in, and then when it was time to scale this first version that you had, what were some of the key changes, or key things that you made tweaks to the app or the product that allowed it to scale to the level that it has?
So see, product if you see from the product point of view, so the use cases that we're trying to solve, the way that we saw the different use cases when we started scaling to different cities, we ideated on how we can scale in terms of use cases with the existing features by making smaller tweaks, and the main support is needed from scaling the technology.
Yeah.
And coming up with new different use cases that we're trying to solve. Let's say simple things in terms of UI UX or experience. So for me, as a product manager, experience is of 3 parts. One, app UI experience, UI UX experience, service experience that I'm giving, and the experience that I'm giving to the customer post-ride. So if I have to boil down to UI UX experience, we always made changes which are scalable, even though they are not looking very eye-catchy for the customers in terms of UI. We always focused on UX rather than on UI.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. In the last 2 years, the tremendous scale and journey that the product has gone through, and the current version that, as you said, it serves multiple use cases. Can you give me 3 big events or 3 big key learnings that allowed the product to be what it is today? 3 big events from when you joined to today, and how that impacted to the product being the way it is.
Sure. One, I will come in reverse chronological order.
Yeah.
So the first one that I would say is COVID.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm not going more into COVID, discussing what COVID has changed and all, because that is inevitable. Whoever is seeing in the last 4 months, we went into multiple offerings. We moved our vision from moving people from one place to another place to move things from one place to another place.
Yeah.
So vision has been changed. Because vision has been changed, we have come up with new service or new services that we offer to the customer. Uske liye kya karna hai, all these things that we started up. And before that, the other thing, like 4 or 5 months back, we had one in Jan we had one very big marketing plan. We didn't go ahead with that because of XYZ reasons. I'm not going into those. To get things ready to support that huge marketing plan, so many changes came into product. So earlier we used to be very reactive in terms of issues. When I say reactive, issue होने के बाद हमको पता चलता है. Now issue होने से पहले हमको पता चलता है.
Oh, okay. Preventive sort of thing,
Yeah, preventive thing.
Okay.
So even as I said, right? So Rapido always focused on keeping the team sizes very lean.
Yeah.
So if we have seen a scale from 15,000 to 450,000 orders, so many things should have changed. Like, let's say when we are doing 15,000 orders, there are 10 customers or 15 customers who used to reach out to us, let's say, for example. But if we are scaling from 15,000 to 450,000, the proportion that with which issues that customers are facing will also multifold. But if you ask me, have we increased the backend support teams at the same rate? No.
Okay.
So we have consciously taken calls to build products to solve these issues or prevent these issues in the first place to occur.
Okay.
So maybe these are not visual UX changes, but there are so many things which have changed in process to prevent the issues. Not even the process, even the product things that we have built in terms of logics or in terms of changing the functionalities, which will adhere to prevent these issues to rise in the initial days. It's not always the products that you build for the end consumers, right? It might be products that you're building for your internal teams to solve things faster.
Yeah, makes sense.
So even there is a big internal product that we have built recently, which supports onboarding of captains 5x the next day. Let's say, for example, today you can do X number of captains onboarded or activated in your platform. You can do 5x tomorrow.
Okay.
Without changing anything. If there is a requirement of 5x, we can do it right away.
Oh, that's great. That much capacity on your end, that you can handle it.
Yeah, we build products in such a way, so we don't always go and say. So even from the day one, right? So with the super efficient tech teams that we are having, product teams and design teams and all the teams that we are having. So even if I go to some team and ask, yaar, ye karna hai, these are the problems that customers are facing on the ground. We need to solve this problem. Okay. The first question that comes from anyone's mouth would be, okay, what is the scale today and what is the scale in next 6 months?
Yeah.
So everyone are focused on scaling things, optimizing things. And the other question that people always ask is, what is the cost in terms of cost? What are we saving with this product? So people ask you multiple questions. That's the kind of culture that we always drive from top to bottom. So people ask you multiple questions. That is the second, what do we call, lever which change these things. And the third point, coming in reverse chronological order. So when we decided to expand, right? Expanding cities back in 2019 or 2018, when I joined, we were in 3 cities. In 3 months, we were in 40 cities.
Wow.
In 6 months, we are in 100 cities.
Damn.
But now the geography, if you see the geography, the way that we expanded, we have started expanding in south. But when you move to north and northeast and east, the use cases are completely different. So planning further, right? Planning faster. So what is the expansion plan? We came to know that. And now we started our own research ki yaar, will our product help in expanding it to east and north cities?
Yeah.
So उसके लिए क्या missing है? उसको क्या चाहिए वो build करेंगे पहले. So that's the kind of thing. How do we plan properly upfront? In 2018, we used to like slag our days, like 3 days straight. People are in office solving the problem statements. So that's a good thing. I mean, like whoever we hire, everyone think forward, think scalability, think the cost. So one real interesting conversation that I had with one of the product managers recently was we wanted to automate the process of verifying the documents that the captain will upload. All the documents, not just his driving license and this thing registration document of his vehicle. So if we have to automate all the other documents which we take from him, like PAN card, Aadhaar card, and all these things, so we need to automate. But automation comes with a cost. So even though it is not fight of a product manager, he took up that fight, saying that I will work with my finance team or other teams to identify who can give me at a lower cost so that I can automate all the documents.
Yeah.
So it's not just solving the problems with technology, right? Even you have to solve problems on ground. You have to take up multiple challenges outside.
Yeah.
So if you see any time before COVID, product managers in Rapido used to be drivers.
Used to be drivers. Okay.
Yeah. So who used to give the rights to customers to understand from them? So that's something which we used to have, and the whole product team used to come to office only using Rapido.
Oh wow, nice.
And the other way that we do is every day at least one of the product managers will speak to at least 10 to 20 customers about the problems that they are facing.
That's nice.
So for being a product manager, right, you need to be very close to the customer and consumer. So end consumer in our case is customer and captain both. And for the internal products, ops, marketing, marketplace team, finance team, all these are internal users.
Yeah,
so we are very close to these teams. So there is one saying, right? Master of all, jack of none. But I would say a product manager, jack of all trades, but master of one, which is customer empathy. He should be master of one trade. He should be master in customer empathy.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean that's one of the questions I wanted. You know, the importance of of a sort of consumer being the center of your experience. I think you've highlighted that well. You know that I mean the biggest trait to be a good product manager is to be someone who understands the end consumer and empathizes with his problems.
Yeah. So unless and until you empathize with your customer, right?
Yeah.
You're not solving for anyone.
Got it. That's great. That's a really cool. So would you say, being in the mobility space, being a product manager in this space, would you say that mobility as a field is now turning out to be way more consumer focused than it ever was in history?
It will, right? Any segment that you see. So when a segment starts in the ecosystem, so mobility started for some users. Earlier, when you want to travel from one place to another place, you either travel in public transportation, or you travel in your own car, or you hire a car for a day or two.
Yeah.
From that, it evolved to on-demand booking, and from that, it is getting evolved to you travel on your own. You get the vehicle from us, you travel on your own.
Yeah.
So earlier, when you see, right, so when Ola, Uber didn't come into picture, you used to search in Google, or you used to call travel agencies and used to hire a vehicle for a number of hours.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give you an example of how user-centric products are being built. Now, on tap of a button, you are getting a cab or bike.
Of course. Yeah.
So it started with cabs. Now, even you will get a bike on a tab of single button.
Yeah.
One button. So there will always be movement in every segment which starts in. So from less user empathetic to more user empathetic, and also more user centric. If you see, this has driven. This happened a lot in what do we call hospitality, and also healthcare segments. हेल्थ केयर में पहले आपको कुछ करना है, आपको
Hmm.
कुछ लेट्स से यू आर फेसिंग सम प्रॉब्लम ऑफ हेल्थ इश्यू, यू आर फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम ऑफ thyroid,
Hmm.
hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, you have to go to hospital.
Hmm.
There is no need to go to even to go to an hospital, right?
Yeah.
Even without a doctor, you are able to solve your problem of hypo and hypothyroidism.
Hmm.
So there will always be evolution happening continuously. And if anyone being in this space, right, mobility space, you are in that sine curve, the cusp of sine curve where you will see that exponential change
Yes,
in next
exactly.
coming 3-4 years.
Of course. Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I agree to that. We're seeing that huge. I mean, the whole automotive industry, which is kind of morphing into this whole mobility industry as such. I think
exactly, right.
the revolution or the change is happening on three fronts. One is from internal combustion engines to electric vehicles. Second is from privately owned vehicles to shared mobility. And I think the third is, of course, the increasingly bigger role of software in the field of mobility. I think these are the three big ways in which the whole ecosystem is being disrupted in. So you're absolutely right. That we're at the cusp of this massive change that's happening, and which fortunately is going to happen by keeping the consumer at the center of all of the things that we design around it. So that's a great thing that's
Exactly.
happening.
Exactly. Along with that, to add to that point, right? So if you see, you rightly mentioned that EVs are going to change the ecosystem a lot. But at the same time, along with EVs, there will be different markets which are going to get changed along with EVs. So renewable energy will change because electricity is required for EVs to run. So there will be a lot of change coming into the ecosystem along with this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
simple analogy for this is when any manufacturing industry comes into any village or town, right? Along with the manufacturing industry, there will be so many other industries which will be coming around it.
Of course.
So restaurants will come around that manufacturing industry.
Yes.
So anyway, simple thing is whenever you see any office, right, there will be a small tail outside for sutta and all.
Yeah.
So along with EVs, there will be a lot of change coming into the ecosystem.
Of course.
And
Absolutely.
affordability coming into picture. If you see all these manufacturing companies, right, like Hero, Honda, Maruti, all these folks are coming up with their own EVs, and at the same time, they are also coming up with sharing mobility sharing solutions.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the whole shift, the biggest, the anchor is this shift from sort of, from dirty ways of powering a vehicle to cleaner ways of powering a vehicle. And in that anchor, there is, shared mobility. There is also connected vehicles. There is, software being such a big part of the whole thing. So there's these multiple different things that this whole, wave of sustainability is carrying. So which I agree, that's exactly what's happening. I have one interesting question to ask. What is the one unique challenge that you've come across in building a mobility product in comparison to any of the other products that you've helped build in the past? One challenge that's unique to building a mobility product.
So if you have seen my other companies or the companies that which I have worked with, so wahan pe the prime focus is on UI UX.
Yeah. Okay.
So now the prime focus. So when I say UI UX, solving the problems using UI UX.
Mm-hmm.
So here in mobility space, service is the prime focus.
Okay.
So what if I'm giving you a bad captain 3 times continuously? Will you come back again for me?
Just because the UI is good, I won't come back. My service needs
exactly
to be
right. Exactly right. So it's not just the product that you're building; it's also the service. So that's a major challenge because bike taxi as an ecosystem never existed in India.
Yep.
So now I need to educate the drivers and captains also how do they behave, because that's not their job, day-to-day job. Sure. If you go to Indonesia and other places, bikes में लोग travel करते थे even before Gojek came into picture.
Yeah.
वहाँ पे already drivers know how to treat the customers and all. So यहाँ पे educating the captains is also a problem. Mm-hmm. That's a major learning curve for me, or difficulty that I have faced in mobility space. And one thing which I want to always share with everyone is you should never compare apples with oranges. You should never compare Rapido with Uber. Mm-hmm. I won't say which is apple, which is orange. I won't say that.
Okay.
But still, you should never compare two different companies which are solving for two different segments altogether.
Of course.
So, but still, it always happens, right? In any company that you go and join, yeah, if you have to explain Rapido is bike taxi for bike taxi which is solving the problem of customers who travel from one place to another place. The second thing that comes from the person who I am talking to is like, is it Uber for bike taxi? Is it Ola for bike taxi? That is something, one major problem that we are trying to solve for.
Okay.
How do we change it? How do we change this thing that which is there in the people's mind?
Generalization.
Generalization nahi bolunga. So I will tell you one generalization that people will come across, right? So people these days, if you follow Dribble and all, people try to replicate the designs of Cred and thinking that Cred ka design language is the latest design language in the industry.
Oh yeah, I mean it looks good.
Yeah, so people compare with Cred ka design ऐसे नहीं है, हम लोग करेंगे, but Cred is solving for that 1% creamy layer who has access to credit cards.
Of course, makes sense. So I mean, basically the whole point is to be contextual to your problem, right? And then work back.
Exactly.
And not deciding what you want first and then sort of throwing.
You should never do that, right? So if you are going with preset mindset, you will never be able to solve the problem.
Got it. So you got to be as a product manager building some sort of a solution for consumers. You have to have a blank slate in your head and only fill in it with colors that the consumer wants to paint, right? I mean, like that's basically.
I would change a bit, Chirag, on that. So I would say slate has two sides of it. So fill in with your thoughts on one side, and ask the customer to paint his thoughts on the other side of the plate. Then compare.
Makes sense. That's also, I mean, that's a good way to put it. I mean, you're the expert. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not telling you because I have been talking to so many aspiring product managers, right? So they always come up with this thing कि यार मेरे को कुछ पता नहीं है. I will go as a dumb person to the user and I will start talking to him. So if you're a dumb person, you can't even put a question to them.
True. So you need to have some idea. That's good. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
You need to have one side of things painted. You need to see what they're painting. Is it the same? Is it not? Then whatever. Pick and choose the things that make sense from both ends. That's cool. I know you've touched upon the subject of COVID a little, but I just want to understand from the perspective of you as a product manager of Rapido, what has been the biggest challenge for you to navigate as a product manager due to what COVID has sort of due to the impact that COVID has had? So what's the biggest challenge in navigating, either from changing features from product perspective, or just just the challenges of being a product manager? What's the one big challenge that COVID has posed to you?
Sure. So to add to that point, right, I will just bring that point down to one point where the main problem statement when COVID started, right? COVID completely erased the use case of travel in multiple segments. So now use case of travel is not there when COVID started or when lockdown started. I would not say COVID started and ended. COVID is still there. Yeah. When lockdown started, it completely erased the need for travel.
Yes.
So now it's like एक दिन हम लोग 4,50,000 कर रहे थे, next day we are 0.
Yeah, it's a big bump.
But okay, so now who are affecting because of this? Customers के लिए use case नहीं है, but it didn't remove the use case of need for money for the captains for their daily code.
Of course.
So now, how do I solve this problem of giving money to captains? So that's the first thing which came into all the minds who are inside Rapido. So internally, folks started shouting out, saying that Rapido में funds उठाएंगे, captains को help करेंगे, बाहर external funds उठाएंगे, captains को help करेंगे. So we started with such small things where we don't need any technology. And we, while doing these things, we bought time to bring some integrations into the platform where we have given loans to the captains. Or I would say we have lended some money to the captains. And we told them, once you start working with Rapido again, once we are giving you orders, daily 50 rupees, 60 rupees is something which you can give it back to us with zero interest. So solve the problems for the end driver. We took that as an opportunity. So now one of the ideas which came while discussing on this is that, यार अभी तो लोगों को मैं मूव नहीं कर सकता एक जगह से दूसरी जगह. Can I move things? Because people are staying at home, how will things move from one place to another place? That's where the idea of integrating with more delivery partners, with more, we coming up with solutions. So we took this 1 month of time where we did some offline experiments to figure out what will work for Rapido captains, what will work for Rapido captains to earn money. So वो सब experiment कर रहे थे. Parallelly, we built the framework for extending it to other services.
Okay.
So the mindset of solving the problem for the end user helped us even here. So at the same
Got it.
time, right? So if captains, so even okay, captain basis, let's say आपके पास 10 लाख captains है, उसमें सारे 10 लाख captains को you won't be able to help.
Yeah.
किसको help करना है? पहले किसको help करना है? Who is that needy captain at this point of time? So how do we come up with that? So for analyzing all these things, the segments that we have built initially before COVID and all, that helped us a lot.
Yeah.
So to identify किसको help करना है. So who is student who is working with Rapido for pocket money? Who is the captain who is working in Rapido as a part time? Who is working in Airtel office? Who is working as a salesperson outside and who is working for Rapido as a part timer? And who is the captain who is working Rapido as a full timer? Who doesn't have any other modes of income? So it helped us to boil down to that core segment of captains who needed that help very fast or instantly. So that helped. And also captains doesn't have so much of knowledge about insurances that are available outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where we started educating our captains, saying that Rapido mein kaam karo, Rapido mein login karo, you'll also get insurance. And also we started selling some COVID insurances where Hospicash are available. So people don't know what Hospicash is outside, right? So if they are working for a company and if they get hospitalized because of COVID, you will get minimum 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 based upon the insurance that you are taking, even you without working out, even without you working. So this kind of awareness is something which is very important to give outside, but government has done pretty fair job in educating by taking hit on world economy, Indian economy. But still, all companies who are working with this and what do we call blue collar workers and all. So there is a huge gap in terms of educating them on how can they stay safe and they can get money for their livelihood. So these things help. And also in some of the cities, the city managers also help them in reaching out to the correct government officials or correct government NGOs where they can get food packets, raw materials for food, and also that they can have those things at their home. So guiding them with the right information. So that also helped a lot. Yeah, so we learned a lot as a product manager, right? So always as a product manager, you can never sit in inside four walls and ideate among yourselves 4 or 5 product managers, and you can't come up with a solution when you're solving the problem on the ground. So even in the COVID times, even our founders Arvind and Pawan went on to the ground. They spoke to so many captains. They distributed daily groceries, raw materials for their families. We have done so many things. I mean, like I would not say we solved the 100% of the problem, but we solved the problem of discoverability in terms of information.
Yeah, makes sense. No, that's a really good one. I mean, as soon as the shit hit the fan, I mean, your focus didn't go from, what are we going to do as a business? Your focus instead went, what will our captains do because their livelihood is in danger?
Exactly.
So I like that. How as a company you reacted to the problem quite differently than I would normally expect. So that's, I mean, kudos to the company, and I'm sure, of course, you've had a significant impact in the lives of several of your captains. So I mean, that's great that you guys could do that. Now I just wanted to sort of paint the picture of where do you, as the product manager of Rapido, as the head of the product manager, or as the head of the product Rapido, where do you want to take Rapido in the next 1 year as a product? What do you want it to stand for, and what do you want consumers to look at it? How do you want it to evolve in the next 1 year?
Sure. To be very frank, Chirag, so simple thing. When we are having this discussion, right? I gave you a point where people compare Rapido with Uber.
Yeah.
So now in 1 year, 2 year down the line. So when anything comes into users mind, any users mind outside कि यार मेरे को यहाँ से वहाँ जाना है या इस package को यहाँ से वहाँ भेजना है, people should think about Rapido than any other company. That's how I would paint myself as a vision for product team, as a for a company, and at the same time, vision for product team would be become more customer focused, do more experiments, be an empathetic person. These are the 3 values that I would want to build product team on top of product team on, and the vision would be people should get Rapido in their mind rather than any other company. Even for that, a lot of marketing is needed. Word of mouth is needed. So we are having plans towards that. How do we make word of mouth marketing and all? We'll be there. We'll be there soon.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, so basically the thing is, when people think mobility of any kind, they need to think Rapido. That's the aim, right?
Exactly. Even though Rapido में वो solution नहीं है. Let's say for example, Rapido might not be in a place where we'll rent out vehicles on hourly basis or on demand basis, but still people should think about Rapido. Yeah, Rapido के पास ये हो सकता है. Or they should at least think कि Rapido is all क्यों नहीं कर रहा है.
Makes sense. I mean, consumers push you to become a wholesome solution for themselves, right? That's kind of like the spot you want to be in. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
I don't want to put any goal where I would want to say ki best UI UX, best experience. I would never say those as goals.
Yeah.
Goal has to be measurable.
I mean, of course, that's the entirety of Rapido. I love that. So I think we're heading towards the end of the podcast. I want if you had any tips for product managers from the perspective of you being in the mobility industry, what would be some tips that you'd like to give for product managers to enter the field of mobility and not go anywhere else, or maybe switch or whatever, how would you as a product manager in one of the hottest mobility startups in the country give out a message to other aspiring product managers out there?
One basic point is the whole ecosystem who are into mobility, who are solving the problem of mobility at this point of time, they have just scratched the surface.
Of course.
So now there are n number of problem statements which we even don't know to solve in mobility.
Unknown unknowns.
So now the main thing is when I interview people, right? People are like, यार आप लोगों तो सब कुछ कर लिया, अब next क्या है? So my tip for any product manager who wants to become or establish his career in mobility is that if he's traveling on his own, stop traveling into that and start traveling in public transport. Understand the problems that customers are facing. So again, it all boils down to the problem statements that you're trying to solve and problem statements that you're having today. So not just in mobility space, any space apart from mobility or any other space that you're going into, have that knack of identifying the problem statements.
Yeah.
We have just scratched the surface. 100 cities in India is not a very big number.
True.
And even I would say the day that mobility space captures or moves people from using public transportation to use mobility space, that's where the change happened. That's when the start of the change happened. So when I say people moving from public transport to mobility space, right? So I won't say public transportation is bad or good or anything. So even mobility companies or can give insights to these public transport companies, right? Transportation companies. So how many times do you see buses going empty on the roads?
A lot.
Why can't we put it in places where public transport doesn't go? So can it give tips to transportation companies? Can it build tools in that direction? Or can we build services where we'll go to each and every nook and corner of the country?
Makes sense.
And one thing which I would say to people, right? So start if someone wants to come to mobility, start following the changes that are happening in the world. Maybe something which Tesla is doing today can change even a car like Nano. We don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
We don't know it. A small technology that Tesla is building can change Nano. Or we can adapt something, or what we are doing right now can be given to so many people outside, which can solve others' problems.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So a small gyroscope in mobile phone is solving n number of problems these days, right?
Absolutely.
But I don't even know if the inventor of gyroscope wanted to solve all these problems.
Yeah, he didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly, right. So mobility space ko follow karo. So so many people want to become product manager, but they don't know the basics of product management. So India, there is a lot of misconception between product management and project management. and you can't avoid doing project management while doing product management. You have to do project management, but you need to always have a balance between both.
Yeah.
You should know firstly you should know what is project management and what is product management. So how do you learn that is something which you should maybe in last 2 years I have seen a lot of improvement in product groups or product communities in India, which are expanding like anything. So if someone wants to join some product communities, there are a bunch of product communities available outside where industry veterans from Silicon Valley are available there to discuss your problems, or you can learn from them. Yeah,
absolutely. Great. That's a great piece of advice. I mean, I love that you said, we're just scratching the surface of what needs to be done, and we're nowhere close to where we want to be. And that the two big takeaways for me personally were that a product manager is product management is all about identifying the problem, and the biggest trait that you need to be a good product manager is to be empathetic towards the end consumer. I think these are two amazing things.
And never relax.
Never relax. Got it. That's great. Thanks a lot, Nikhil. This was a great session. I had a lot of fun, and so many deep insights into product management. Your experience clearly comes through. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed in this podcast. I hope you had a good time.
Sure, Chirag. I mean, like, this is one kind of podcast that I've been part of. So recently, after COVID, right? So many people approach saying that, can you be part of our community where you will guide or train some product managers who want to become product managers? And also, we have been doing some what do we call corporate stuff with different companies, teaching them, guiding them. But I never had such kind of discussions. Like, it's the one-on-one that I had with you, right? So it's a good one-on-one that we had.
Thank you.
Hope that you enjoyed the session with me.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I always enjoy it. So thank you so much. I hope everyone here listening to the podcast and watching the podcast had tons and tons to take away. So, guys, Rapido's open for a lot of product managers and a lot of UI UX jobs. So if you have any, go ahead, apply to the company and absolutely be, inspired and, come work for a company like this in the industry. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, be driven differently.